You are listening to Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle, Jeremy Sanchez, and Mikey Douglas, only on LA Talk Radio.
So you know the deal. It's time for Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle on LA Talk Radio.
Perfectly. Like I said, this is Those Casual Red Show. This is Case, representing ACJ and LA Red Army. We're brought to you by Balorian, Minukian, and Shagidian, one of the finest law firms in Southern California. You can call them at 747-444-4444. Get their free consultation, 98% success rate. Full staff of paralegals ready to go. They get you in there and let you know what they can do for you. So let's get into it. Cheese, get in here. Sam, bringing all the guys.
Yep, man, them roll up, enter.
It's a big show. It's a big panel. Lots of Reds here. I want to hear a lot of opinions. We're going through a transition, as everybody knows. Eric Ten Hag's out, and possibly we'll have in Ruben Amarin. But first of all, I wanted to get everybody's opinions on Eric Ten Hag. I want you to get your final thoughts. Well, first of all, let me introduce everybody. It's going to be a quick introduction. Sean, how are you doing?
Good.
Out of Pittsburgh. Ronaldo, how you doing out of the South? How you doing?
Good.
Bandito Mike, representing the city of Southern Cal. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to be here.
Mikey, everybody's favorite Red. How you doing?
You.
Logan, how you doing?
Yo, how's it going?
My guy Germs, how you doing?
Yo, how's it going? What's up?
It's a tough night for everybody. We all here are Dodger fans, and we're going to be keeping our moods tempered. I know there's a lot of Dodger fans in here, so I don't want anybody cheating, looking at the score, cheering, and none of that sort of the business. But first of all, let's deal with the matters at hand. Eric Ten Hag has been removed as the boss of the Manchester United Football Club. Some people say it's long overdue. Some people were, I don't know, thought that it, what do you think, Cheesy? It happened too soon? Give me your opinion.
No, not at all. Not too soon. Like, I think a bunch of us were willing to ride it out till December, but just based on results, performance, reaction of the players are like, yo, we're over this, so not soon enough. Like, you could have did it international break. I think you guys talked about it on the show last night, but like international break, and definitely after the Tottenham game, for me personally, I was like, I was done after Spurs. I was like, nah.
Any of you guys felt that maybe the international break was time? Bandito Mike, how did you feel about when you heard the news that our guy was finally out?
Okay, so two questions there. I was thinking about the international break coming up in late November as, a marker of, how were we going to improve? Did it look likely that we were going to improve throughout the season? But that decision came much quicker. So the timing, yeah. I mean, we're 14th. The results speak for themselves. And you look at, were we going to get better? Were we going to improve? Were we going to go on a run of, 5-7 games winning streak, on the bounce? Not very likely. So, they pulled the trigger. He's been relieved of managerial duties. A little sooner than I thought, but I can't argue with it.
Ronaldo with that hideous jersey on. What did you heard the news about our guy Eric Ten Hag being moved on? How'd you think? What was your thoughts?
Well, I was in the airport coming from Barbados, took a little mini vacay. So I was feeling good. And then I saw it. I was like, well, I got shit to read in the airport. It was kind of numb because I felt it was coming. Like Chi said after Tottenham, it felt dead, didn't it? That was a hiding. Besides the Liverpool game, that Tottenham game was really embarrassing. We had, a little games where we looked good. The Crystal Palace game we looked good, but we didn't get anything out of it. It just felt once again, Bruno looks like absolute shit this season, and it just everywhere else down. Nobody's getting better, so it had to be done. And quite frankly, Ten Hag is not Ineos' guy, and the summer started off just like that. So we should have kind of seen it coming, especially with this bad start. And I saw something comparing the numbers. The last time we got relegated, 74, same wins, same losses, and same draws that we have right now. I don't think we would get relegated, but that's some damning numbers. So
damn, I did not know that.
I feel bad. I feel bad for him, but some of it is his doing, and players need to look in the mirror. They know they stunk up the joint again.
That's a
Millwall,
it looks
Millwall
good.
away. I'm here for it.
Say that again.
Millwall away. Yeah, I'm there for it.
Yeah, definitely. If we do Millwall away.
Good luck to all of you that go to that game. Good luck.
That'll be a bucket list checked off for sure. I don't know how, but I would be selling something out of my body to get there.
I ain't wearing a Man United jersey at that game. Not a chance in hell.
I know how you feel. I've been with you at the pub, Logan. I've seen the mood. But can you express that final feeling when you knew Eric Ten Hag left? Were you delighted, or were you just like, this is time?
I mean, I wrote today, said first off, that FA Cup win and run last year was phenomenal. Great feelings. Great all around. But I think it summed up last game, you and I, whenever Delo got past the keeper, and neither you or I even got excited. And I think that's just kind of where we're at that point. True. So I think it's time to move.
Jerem, finally you.
Well, I woke up to that news and I wasn't surprised. It was a good way to wake up, right? To seeing Eric Ten Hag being sacked. It was long overdue. Thank you for those 2 cups, but it's just about time to move on, time to get this club back to those glory times, and way to go with this move.
Now, when I'm getting this group's temperature, it sounds like everybody would have been okay with the international break where Eric Ten Hag would have been relieved of his duties. Am I safe to say that? Or did you? I mean, I some of us were really saying, let's wait till December, January time. But I think some of us were like, international break would have been the opportune time. Anybody want to jump in on that?
So I got a conspiracy theory.
Oh, wow.
I think we leaked that Sir Alex thing, and then we flew on over to talk to Amorim, and no one knew we did it during that international break. That's why
I wouldn't put that past Man United to do that, to be honest.
Because I remember how pissed and how much news we got from Sir Alex, and then man, talks move so quick the past day with Amorim. Like, there's no way we haven't talked to him and planned this out.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
This guy is a guy that wants to see a project through and through. And the fact that he is leaving mid-season to go to Man United is a shock within itself. To be able to get him out of Sporting like that. But yeah, I agree with Logan. Like, this has been going on for a while. I think something happened in the international break where they weren't quite ready to pull the trigger on him being fired, because one of the they didn't have at least one of those 3 managers saying yes.
Does anybody think it had anything to do with maybe possible Tuchel getting off the board, and they probably were like, we got to go to the next guy, and they didn't know exactly who the next guy was, so that maybe they weren't ready, and that's why it probably took a little bit longer than we thought. I mean, when I mean taking longer than thought, international break, I thought would have been the opportune time. But then, we were talking about maybe they're going to have to tool. So next, he's like, he's got a new job.
So that happens fast too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were coming up to me today saying, "Oh, we're so shocked how quick you did it," but this wasn't done quick. This had to have been at least 2-3 weeks in the working. I mean, there had to be some communication.
Yo, we're getting on Ineos the last couple games and saying we on Ineos watch now, and now we kind of backed off of that. It was like, oh, they moving again. All right, okay.
I think one of our oracles put it out there like that. This is Ineos watch, and then I think Ineos might have been watching the show. They're like, "Man, my name is on right now."
I have none of that.
So once the Ineos watch dropped, they was like, "We got it." Omar was like, "I got to get everybody together."
Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I was yelling about Ten Hag needs to be on the sideline, and then the next game he's on the sideline yelling. So,
yeah, Ten Hag has been a little bit more. The last 2 games, he's been a little bit more active, but it's just not. It hasn't worked. We still look a mess. Things don't look right. His substitutions is crazy.
He wasn't
I'm going to say the team let him down too. It was like the last couple of games have not just been on him. Like the last game wasn't on him against West Ham. That was the team that let him down.
But doesn't anybody think that's his fault too? You rode and died with some guys. You didn't let some guys get punished for their bad play. You kept going. Because first of all, Bruno shouldn't.
Would have been best.
Bruno, you said it. You said Ronaldo. Bruno has been looked terrible. He's looked absolutely terrible. I mean, some say the first half of this game he played good. I didn't think. I've heard some of y'all thought we played good in the first half against West Ham. I did not think so at all.
We did play well in the first half.
Yeah.
The thing that got it is the fact that we had
4. It could have been 4 if we finished.
Could have been for the longest.
That's why the man's out of a job.
Okay.
Bruno should have had 3 assists in that first half.
Yep.
Yeah, but we know plenty of games with Garnacho could have had 2 assists. Rashford could have had 2 assists. This has been our story. So it's
again, that goes back to the players not finishing. It's not like as much as Ten Hag can not put Ugarte in, but at the end of the day, Ugarte not being in is not going to help the team score, and the team let him down in the last couple of games. Overall, I agree he needed to go, but at the end of the day, the team let him down.
Well, we got a potential new guy coming in. We might as well everybody say goodbye to Ten Hag. Which I heard you made a montage or something for him today, Mikey.
Yeah,
I didn't make a montage.
I see you say.
Before we move on, I mean, obviously it wasn't one game that got him sacked, right? It was a number of things, but just to reflect back on his time here, someone said before, like there was a bit of excitement when he came in. He was just, the latest and greatest, kind of had success and played youth. Yeah. His first season, he really overachieved with the squad he had, and we looked at him like, okay, he's getting the best out of some of his players. He's getting the best out of Rashford. He's bringing on youth and Garnacho. He's Bruno isn't good. Had a very good season. He's getting the best out of these players. Got us into the Champions League. Second season, not great. And you could almost excuse it for the amount of injuries and, the cohesion and the number of controversies that he had to deal with. And I thought that he dealt with those okay, the Ronaldo and Sancho and Anthony and those types of things. But in the end, the results weren't great. We thought, okay, third season, this is when you really judge a manager. He's got a lot of his players in, and the season just didn't start out good. And again, it's like, what is our style of play? Lose the ball and then be wide open and then concede a goal. That was like our style of play. So yeah, it didn't seem like it was getting better. The players that were really kicking on before were all struggling. Our top player, probably Bruno, is is, the one player you would say could walk into almost any team in the Premier League. And he's been having a not very good season. So, having said that, he managed the probably for me the best win post Sir Alex Ferguson, right? A single game win in that FA Cup against City. He outcoached him. The players outthought, and really put it on City when we were like a 11-1 underdog. So yeah, a 3-handled trophy, and your favorite cup, Casey, the FA Cup. And we thank him for his service. Best of luck to him. All the Georgie best. And we're ready to move on.
I'm glad you said those things, because you brought me back to why my mood is tempered right now, because I really thought this was going to be the guy.
After that first season, yeah.
Yeah, I really was backing him. I think the majority of our fan base was backing him, because I just want to salute the Red Army. I think we showed a lot of patience,
perseverance.
I think some people were even riding with him up to 2 weeks ago. And then, you were saying things, well, maybe he'll get it together. We all thought I thought this was the best gaffer we had since Ferguson. I don't know, maybe Jose, but I thought really this was going to be the guy. I don't know how any of you guys felt going into the Ten Hag era, but that's how I felt. Anybody thought he could have been the guy to change us?
Yeah, so I definitely picked Ten Hag for the job in my head before he got it, right? But this is what for the future, first off, thank you, Ten Hag. I was one of your most vocal critics towards the end. I hung on with you for a long time. I made a lot of excuses for you. You didn't cut them cheese. It's all good. Thank you. But at the same time, with all this memories FC that we're doing here and sentimental FC that we're doing right now, okay, don't do that with this guy. Don't do that. And going forward, if I could speak to the fan base for a second, let's not do that with this guy. Let's judge him on a case-by-case basis. And I don't mean game by game, but let's see what the progression is. And let's stop holding out hope and falling in love with this manager, because that's what a lot of us did. I'm guilty of it too. Like, we wanted to defend Ten Hag in the face of not seeing a play style for a long time. And it's like, if Amorim doesn't work out, he needs to go too. Just as probably even quicker. And I used to say this, like, yo, we're not Chelsea, man. We're not Chelsea. We can't do X, Y, and Z. But guess what? The game has changed now. And we're in a results-based business. So guys got to figure it out quickly and show us a play style, show us some fight, show us what they're trying to do a lot sooner than we did
watching the game.
How do you guys feel about that? We should have a quick hook if we don't see things working. Anybody think? I mean, what's a quick hook?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
A year,
Define
a 2 year?
quick.
I don't.
6 games.
For me, I don't care where we finish this year, as long as I start seeing a style of play. The rest of this season, I don't care where we finish.
Where we finish this year,
as long as I can see a consistent style of play and progression in the play. He can go like this season, finish 5th, 6th, I'm fine with that. As long as I see him have a style of play, and you can see Man United progressing. That is all I want from this manager right now.
That's the only way we're going. Yeah, that's the only way we're going to get to 5th or 6th if we see something like that. So
yeah, that's what I mean. Like 5th, 6th, I'm fine with that as long as I can see a progression within the team and a style of play. Because we can't expect him to come in this year and like go, oh, he's going to finish 4th in this year. We're at Christmas already. There's just too much to ask in his for this year. So as long as that style of play and progression, that's all I care about this year for Amorim. Next year, then we kick on.
So we could put our peas in the pod
for
the Europa League, right? Try to win that one.
Yeah,
I want to see somebody be ruthless, and I'm talking about thinking offensively, right? Like, I want to see you up 2, go get the 3rd, up 3, go get the 4th. Don't get defensive. The only reason you need to be getting defensive at this rate is to preserve guys for other games.
He doesn't do that though.
I need the killer instinct. I need all of it. I need it now. And like, I can't wait because we're supposed to be winning the title 3 years from now. I can't wait to figure it out. Guess, oh, this guy doesn't. We don't have that kind of time. I'm on Chelsea time now. Okay,
Hold on.
get him in, get him out. Get him in, get him out.
Since we're talking about him already, Jeremy, who are we talking about right now? Who is this person we're talking about? Introduce him to the army.
Ruben Amorim, right? We're talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about him is that one thing that he was known for, this is supposedly what we saw on reports, that one of the reasons Liverpool didn't want him is because he's stubborn. He wants to have a back three. So the thing is, are we going to start seeing a back three in Manchester United? And who are the back three that we're going to see? Because what we've seen about Ruben, like the videos that I've been watching, is that he likes to really have width with his center backs and also his wing backs. So we need to have center backs that are defensive minded, fast center backs, and also that can possess the ball. Do we have all those center backs?
Yep.
I can say Lisandro Martinez, Yoro, right? Even De Ligt.
Yeah.
Maybe some other guys on the bench we're going to have to get rid of, but we're going to have to do with this season and just go from there. So that is the exciting part. Also, another thing is just, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Something that is great about him is that he likes to create diamonds all over the pitch, something that we were always clamoring about, right? Having a pattern of play, possession-based football. So, I mean, all looks good, but we can all say this right now. We just got to see it out on the pitch, though, with these players, though.
Did anyone see Sporting stats this year? 30 goals, 2 conceded.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2 conceded all season. That is insane.
That's insane, bro.
I know it's the Portuguese league, but they're still kicking ass in the Champions League too. I think they're like 7th, 8th in the Champions League.
He has 2 wins and 1 draw or 1 loss. I'm not sure in the Champions League.
There's also Benfica and Porto teams with more money in that league.
Does anybody know what he does with his midfield? How does he play?
2 10s.
2 10s.
Yeah. So what he'll do is he'll have the wing backs on each side, and then he'll play Ugarte and Mainu next to each other, and then in front of him he'll play something like Rashford, Bruno, and then above him he'll play Rasmus.
So that way Bruno won't have to get wide. Hopefully, because Bruno
should have players.
Ronaldo. Not Ronaldo. If you looked at Rashford when he scored all those goals a couple of years ago, he had Luke Shaw going on the outside, and he was able to move on the inside. So that's what he's going to want to create. But he's going to have to figure out who he wants to play in those 2-10 positions. That's a tough one.
His attacking, how does he like to? Are we narrow attacking? Are we
with?
So I don't know too much, but from what I gather, he likes to create numerical overloads in phases. So it's all about not starting in a position, but arriving into a position at the correct time. So positionally, yeah, he wants to use the 3 at the back to overload, and then the keeper to play a 4-on-3 against your press. And then, like you guys are saying, that it's a box midfield. So in the middle third, you're overloading. You got 4-on-3 against their midfield, and then as you move the ball, you move your wing backs up, and then you're building overloads, on the channel. So that's typically what I've seen. So he plays from a 3-4-3, a 3-4-2-1 with the double 10s, you can say.
A double pivot.
Yeah, and then a solid double pivot, like 2 6s, protecting the center back. And I think a lot is going to be asked of Lenny Euro and Lisandro Martinez to defend wide spaces, 1v1. Martinez is not great at it, but he's sufficient, and I think Lenny Euro is fantastic at it. So it'll be interesting. You guys had already said it, like, what is the personnel going to be? How does the personnel plug into this? So there's loads of ideas out there. I'd like to hear what you guys think about what would be our best 11.
So one of the things I just want to jump in, I was watching a video earlier. So under Ten Hag, when the ball goes out wide, Ten Hag's having one of the defensive midfielders to go out and attack that. Well, he doesn't do that. That's why he plays with the wing backs and the out wide defender. He'll have the defenders and the wing backs go and attack that and leave the two center midfielders, the double pivot in midfield. So that will stop that big, huge gap that we've had in our midfield.
Yeah, that midfield gap shit was crazy.
He'll fix that.
Logan, let me start with you. Do you have a problem if we sign this gentleman? He'll be 39. He'll be the youngest Premier League boss of all time.
No, he's not.
Ever.
No,
Does anybody have a problem with it? Logan, do you have a problem with that?
No, not at all. I'm just concerned because same thing as always. It's different league coming to the Premier League. You know how that works. So we'll see how it goes for him.
I think
Brighton
is 8 years younger than him.
He's actually the third youngest.
31 years old.
They're like
Brighton's manager is younger than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
31?
Yeah.
31.
Our guy Ammerman is 39.
Almost my son.
Yeah. Come on. You're the host, man. You're the host.
That's another dominant factor.
Why would you even spit that out there?
I don't give a shit.
You didn't know it as facts. You just said it.
That's what I keep y'all around
That's
for.
what y'all here for. League. Oh, wow.
That's another factor against Ten Hag too, right? This 31-year-old just came in with Brighton. They're not a big money team. They have
realize that.
And he got them clicking and clacking, and they're still trying to figure out.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
I don't think it doesn't matter at this point. If you're young and you're hungry and you connect with these players, you get results out there. That's it.
I love you.
This guy played against Johnny Evans.
Yes.
Erickson.
Erickson. Play with Braga. Yeah.
Wow.
Did anyone
One thing I look forward to seeing?
I was going to say, has anyone seen how he coaches also? Like he has a game plan for each individual player. So he'll work on the fitness for each individual player. He'll work on like what that player needs to do rather than just as a whole, as a group. Like he'll bring players to one side and have a training session just with coaches, just with that one player, rather than just coaching as a whole all the time. So a very, very good man manager too.
That's going to benefit the youth because that's one of the things that he's praised about, developing young players, developing youth.
Yeah.
And we need that with all the young players that we have. That what have we been clamoring about? These young guys are not getting better. They're not getting better. We see the raw potential and the attributes they have, but we don't see them progressing. One thing I'm interested in seeing, because he's Portuguese, is he going to be able to just be that guy to tell Bruno, you know what, you're playing your crap. You're sitting on the bench. I can't afford to have you up there in the pitch.
I think he will.
But I think right now, when he comes in, we're still Mainu's out, Euro's not out, or Euro's out. You know, we still got injuries going. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our injuries are backline, which a lot of his tactics, that's where it starts from. It's those center backs.
Yeah, and then like the wing back situation, right? Who's gonna commit to playing wing back? Like, who's gonna commit to doing that when? I don't know. I haven't heard anything on the Maz. I don't know where he is with his knee. And Luke Shaw is not gonna, he's a left back. Can he play the position even or whatnot? It's like, are we gonna ask wingers to commit defensively because we're gonna need some help on that side of the pitch coming back.
He actually likes playing wingers more than he does defenders at the wing back position.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about changing the philosophy that these guys.
I will say this: this is a great opportunity. If Anthony was any good at going forward, this would be a great opportunity for Anthony. Because I'm gonna give him credit. He gets back in defense. He's just shit going forward. Like, you can't take it away from me. He does get back and defend on that wing. Like, if he was any good at going forward, he'd be a great wing back for Man United.
Anybody concerned about like a Garnacho? How does he fit in?
Yeah, him and Rashford.
I think they'll be the ones playing alongside a striker, right? And just let the wing backs and the 2-8s, Menu and Ugarte, hold firm in the middle and let those three guys cook up top. I think that's how it's gonna go.
I think you might see Bruno starting alongside Ugarte while Menu's out.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Have him
idea.
have him a
Not
little,
a bad idea either.
little deeper. Because the attackers I
Yeah.
was watching, that he does
Yeah,
like
you
one
want
of
to
those
take
center
advantage.
mids to really push forward and get into the space and have his wing or the like left or right wing kind of go forward more.
I heard something that a player like Ahmad should flourish with his system.
I think
Well, yeah,
As
I
a-
think
someone
Ahmad
next-
and Garnacho. I
Someone
feel like,
next to the striker.
I feel like Ahmad and Garnacho should flourish.
There's gonna be a
And
lot
like-
of help right there, right? There's gonna be a lot of help on that wing area between them and the striker, right? So there's gonna be a lot of like, I think you could expose that space right there. I think that space is to be had if if he decides to listen. He could come here and pull an Eric Ten Hag and say, "I'm not playing the damn Sporting way. I came here to do it my different way."
that's right. I forgot that part.
I want to be. I'm
Oh,
happy to
man.
get Ten Hag out there, but I want to be happy for this dude. I am happy, but at the same time, that shirt, that clipboard, that position or whatever they can have you is a heavy one, man, and
It
it
is
often
heavy.
makes guys do things they otherwise wouldn't do. And we have to put in perspective, because you guys like to do this all the time with France and all these other leagues. This was in Portugal. You only conceded 2 goals in Portugal, brother. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but he's also kicking ass in the Champions League too.
all right, let me finish what I'm saying. I was quiet for 16 minutes. So this is Portugal. You guys do this all the time. Like, I'm tempering my expectation till I see what's going on. But I like what's going on with him coming in. I like what I'm hearing. I just hope that this job title does not alter, or the pressure doesn't alter what he wants to do.
Bandito.
Yeah, you guys, we're talking about someone who's tactically adept and can change and chop and change as they need. But we also need a boss who's going to have the personality to manage. And like Mikey's saying, the heavy is the hand that carries the clipboard. This is the massive job, and you need the personality for that. This job is bigger than one man, so we can't just. There's no Alex Ferguson. There's only one, and there's not another one coming in. So it's got to be the structure of Ineos, and they're going to make mistakes. It's a learning curve for them as well. So it's a team thing to get this right and get this turned around. So there's going to be dips and questionable tactics and questionable decisions. That's just part of the job. But yeah, I'm kind of like Mikey. I'm hopeful. I'm not giddy with it. I'm not, but I am, hopeful with it. And there's not a lot we can do really with this remaining season in my mind. But Ronaldo, what do you think? What's your expectations for the rest of the season?
I definitely want to make a deep run, all win the Europa. To get teams in there. I think that's something we should give a shot. As Sean alluded to, if we affirm a style of play, by January or so, give the guy some time.
There's a good chance we could be at a Caribou tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that shit. We just want to.
Okay, so that's fun.
Have you never heard of?
I hope we go out of it. I hope we go out of it. It's one less game.
Nah, I ain't gonna never say that much, but it's whatever with that, and kind of whatever the FA Cup. I mean, it'd be nice to win again, but Carabao, no, I'm not really concerned.
You guys never heard of the new boss bounce? That ain't happening.
Jeremy,
Maybe next round, but it ain't happening this one.
Let me throw it to Jeremy. Who do you think this new boss, and potentially who do you think this really will revive as far as what player? We've heard a lot about Bruno. We've heard about Ahmad, Rasmussen. Who do you think really benefits from this?
For me, I think the young guys like Kobe Mano, right? The midfield and Rasmus, just like the young guys, just teaching them where to be, what spaces to cover, and Rasmus as a striker as well. We see the hunger he has, but sometimes maybe not being in the correct space, just helping those guys out more than anything. Kobe Mano and Rasmus.
Okay. Rasmus is a channel runner, and this seems to be like this setup for a channel runner.
I got 2 wildcats for you guys.
Him and Gyökeres look very similar in their kind of styles.
Yep.
Do you know
Casemiro and Maguire are going to improve under this guy?
Rasmus has only had 3
Which
shots
two?
all season.
Casemiro and Maguire are going to improve under this guy.
Did you say Maguire?
And then we let him go win a contract.
Improve?
How
I'm
can you
telling you.
improve on 5 Champions League titles?
Yeah.
We know Casemiro had a problem with Ten Hag. We knew he had a problem with it and how we were set up and how he's getting hung out and dry because his wheels don't work no more. Now he has this guy who likes to play 2 in the middle, stay still, hold the ball, don't do anything stupid, let the guys cook up front. That's who's Casemiro, I think. And England and Maguire, they play 3 at the back, and Maguire's, once he's playing a string of games, he's getting picked for England. I'm not saying they might be automatic starters, but when they're playing, they're going to be serviceable. And
I know
we can't sell them. That's all we need.
I know Sean's going to be excited because Ugarte definitely is going to be playing now.
Yeah, that's his man.
Yeah, Ugarte is going to play. There's no question Ugarte plays. And I actually think the Ugarte problem is really what ended up killing Ten Hag. The fact that he just wouldn't play him. But for me, I think the 2 players that are going to thrive is one, Rasmus Højlund. The guy's had 3 shots all season. I know he's been out, but 3 shots all season, and he doesn't get the service. We know this guy loves to get the ball into the box. And then the second one is going to be Ahmed, because this is where Ahmed played for Sunderland. This is where he shone in the championship, in the same position in that double 10.
One thing I'm excited about too is it might be a lack of favoritism because he's just coming in. Who's going to be his favorite? I feel like
right now Ugarte.
Bruno, he said Bruno. But he did play for Sporting some years ago, right?
Besides Bruno, I don't see any favorites. I think if Rashford's in the drain, it might be Garnacho starting over him. And
how many? Does anyone here think he's already been on the phone to Ugarte saying, "What the fuck? What am I got myself into?"
No.
Okay, what did I do?
No. If anything, he's been on the phone being like, "Yo, I got you. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna turn this around."
I like that he wants the job.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot that he's walking away from a team that hasn't lost in the league.
Firing.
And he could be a 2-time champion.
I seen a video of a guy crying in the street.
Yeah, that older dude. Yeah,
he's crying in the street. He asked him about the manager. And he's like, "Thank you so much. I can't, he just couldn't believe it." And it's like, I like to see that. It means absolutely nothing.
So Sean, what I'm hearing from you is that you're in favor of us just putting all our chips into Europa and just writing the season off in the Premier League. Yeah, is that something?
Well, no, not necessarily putting all the chips into Europa. Like just in this season in general. Like I just want to see if we go out of Europa, we go out of Europa. I don't see us if you've seen our next Europa games, if we lose any of those games, we got some serious questions to ask about ourselves. Because we should not be losing any of those next 4 Europa games because we got Rangers in January and we already beat them in preseason. So we shouldn't be losing those. But I think we'll progress in the Europa League. But for me, it's all season. I don't care whatever competition. If we go out, then we go out. As long as I can see a pattern and a progression inside of Man United that will transfer into next year when he gets his own players into, a couple of his own players. That's all I want to see from him this year. So it's not just necessarily the Europa. It's just in general, I want to see a pattern across the board.
Yeah, our best path in the Champions League is definitely Europa.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Sean. I wrote down earlier today, I think we could take some losses and give them time as long as we see progress and see an identity when we play. There's a lot of times near the end with Ten Hag where we're like, well, what are we doing? What are we trying to get with this ball? There's just so many. There's no identity by the end. As long as we get that by the end of the season, I think it'll be good.
And I know one thing that I've been talking about is this slow ass play from the back. Mm-hmm. And I know me, Mikey, and Casey have been saying hey, maybe he was told to do that. Amrin doesn't do that. He's get it out. He wants that ball out quickly. So hopefully Onana can go back to getting that ball out.
Martinez holds on to it quite a bit this season. I've seen
he does, yeah, he has,
and he's got to be 1-2 touches in his new role.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just my mood is. I'm like Mikey.
No, you're not.
Ten Hag did this. Ten Hag had this brilliant play style that he got here. He said, I am not doing that here at Manchester United. And that bothered me. But I think that was under the Glazers. I don't know. Maybe that regime asked him to do a style that he didn't want to do because I don't know what the fuck he came here and told us that. I want to see about 3 games under this guy. Then I'll feel comfortable. I'm not comfortable. I am not at the least bit comfortable.
3 games, not 10.
Not
But
did you hear what Liverpool turned him down
though? In 3 games.
But Liverpool turned him down because he refused to play 4 at the back for Liverpool. Like he was like, I won't go. So like,
Liverpool's a little bit more established with their veteran players.
Well, I get that, but like the fact that he's saying I'm not going to change who I am. I think he's going to come in. I think that the board, you don't think that when he's having discussions with the board, he's like, oh no, I'm going to play my way. If they said no in any way, he would have been like, I'm not coming. He did it to Liverpool, and Liverpool more established. He has more chance of winning a title or a cup at Liverpool, and he still said no, I'm playing it my way.
Yeah, we tend to think of 3 at the back as 5 at the back and being anti-football, right? Being not something that a front foot team, a big club does. So it's a bit of a paradigm shift because it's 3 at the back, but it's
rest and defense. It's 5 at the back.
Yeah, so it's in build-up possession, it's similar to what a lot of modern clubs do, 3-1 or 3-2, 3-1-6 or something like that. So it's not much different in sustained possession from what we've seen at a lot of modern clubs.
Tell you what a way to figure the fucker out, because that list in December, the games we got is coming thick and fast, so he's got time to figure it out. There's like 8 games in December, so he has to figure it out real quick.
Holiday fixtures.
So we're gonna see Ruud van Nistelrooy on the touchline for I guess a number of games. We're not really sure. Nobody knows really how many, but what do we expect? What can he do in this short time? Is he gonna stick around for the remainder of the year? What's the long term?
Just saying that he's bringing his 3 guys. He got Carlos Fernandes and Elidio Candido. Those are his guys from Braga. They came over from Braga, so they're supposed to be. And then his conditioning coach too, Paulo Bereira. So those are supposed to be his guys to come over with him.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in charge for the Chelsea game, to be honest with you. The way this is moving quickly.
Amarim, I think that's the goal. It'll be Ruud Wednesday tomorrow.
And then with Ruud, I think Ruud leaves the club. Yeah, I think Ruud leaves the club. I don't think he's going to want Ruud on his team. So unless Ruud goes down to the under 21s, I think Ruud leaves the club.
Yeah, there's no connection with him, Ruud, in the history. I don't think coaches want guys that they work with.
I think Ruud wants to go.
And hey, sorry, the chips didn't fall your way, Ruud. I apologize, but so much of it was like, yeah, he's gonna bring that United DNA. Like bun that. It's Portugal time. It's Portugal time. The Portuguese contingent is here. Let's go.
We had enough of these Dutchmen. Now we got to get some Portuguese in here.
Get the Portuguese.
Yeah, go down to the cantina, get your espresso and your pastel de nata, down at Carrington, because that's what it's all about.
I saw this great video earlier of it was just a mock-up of Ten Hag going back and managing Ajax and celebrating that we just rinsed Man United out of all this money.
Yeah, 300 million.
I'm coming back to build a better team now because I got 300 million back in the bank.
You know what? That'd be good if they could even go back there and figure it out there. That'd be great. I'd be happy for him.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't go back. They try to get him back in the summer. They try to get him in the summer.
Beto just said Ruud could leave in the summer. Rumor. I don't see why he'd be around till summer.
No. I mean, if he leaves, isn't that what he signed up for? He knows he signed up. Ten Hag had a short leash, and chips fall where they may.
This was I don't think anyone, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but no one estimated it to be this bad, this quick. Ineos didn't say we're going to keep you on for another year. We could see you be out of here in October. Yeah. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. But so I kind of feel bad and rude because at least they thought they had a year in this blood clot. Boy, I'm telling you guys, this ship sank so fast. It's crazy. It was like It was like midway. I don't know.
Fast,
If you guys
was it fast? Because like they didn't want him before the FA Cup match. They were looking for other guys. It just so happened that a lot of the guys either went to get jobs or didn't want the job. So like, was it fast? Is it that the FA Cup kind of prolonged was a stay of execution for him? Yeah, it was. He's a cup manager. As in retrospect, we could say now in knockout competition, Ten Hag's going to get you beat. He's going to figure out what he's going to take, and the guys are going to match his level in a cup competition. But in the league, bro, it's not happening.
Last time I checked, we didn't. Sorry, go ahead, Bandy.
And I heard that so many times when I was over there from the fans. It's like the players can get up for a cup and beat anybody, but to have the mental capacity to do it week in, week out, and a cold night in Stoke, it just wasn't there. And that's on the boss in part. I mean, the players are culpable as well, but that's on the coaching staff as well to have that week in, week out, and it just wasn't there.
It's not the manager's job to do that. You got to get yourself up as a player.
I think it partially is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A good manager knows how to get certain players in a mode to go.
Exactly.
Just like and I hate to always be like, this is what Fergie did, because that's what we all do. But it's the infamous, I used to talk to Rooney like this to get a result out of this person. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of psychological dark arts to the game that I feel like every manager should have a little bit. Pep has it. He has it in stride. Somebody said one time that they rather play for Pep than have sex.
Oh,
crazy!
Pep must be doing crazy.
That guy needs a new woman.
But anyway, it's been a good show.
Jam-packed.
We had some comments here. Jeff says, that's Bubba Jeff, says, I hate these mid-season sacks. Beto says a Yankee jersey, and I just noticed that. And
what's the score? Yeah. What's the score?
6-4.
6-4. You're not supposed to be watching the game.
I just gotta say this. New York, what the hell was that bringing out Fat Joe? Come on, y'all gotta do better.
That's a Bronx native, man. What are you talking about? He's a Bronx native.
From the Bronx.
But come on, man. You have Ice Cube in LA, then you have Fat Joe.
Ice Cube's from LA. I don't know if Rakim and KRS-One resonates today.
Who would you want to see, Jeremy? Who would you want to see?
I don't know. This is like a big artist. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the Bronx. It's just someone from New York, like Jay-Z or someone.
New York got two teams, brother.
Jay-Z's Brooklyn.
Jay-Z's on the run, baby.
Sean, Mikey, Mikey, you want to promo your show?
Yeah, we'll be on Thursday at 8 p.m. Halloween. So hopefully it isn't going to be a spooky show about Man United losing and going out the Carabao Cup. So,
what's everyone's score prediction for tomorrow? And then
quick ones. This will be funny.
I'm going to go with Mikey 3-0. 3-0 Man United.
2-0 United. Let's go.
2-0.
2-1 United.
4-2 United.
All you Ross Clot said that we was about to be out.
No, we said we don't
say that. I was the only one that said the new manager bounce, baby.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to 2-0. We still want to see United. Still want to see United win. I know coming Thursday we'll have a lot. We'll probably know if he's going to be our boss or not.
For Sunday.
It's a tough time, Red Army. It's a tough time. We're going through another transition. Another coach has been bounced. There's another set of players have got a coach bounce. I think what's really concerning to all of us is this is a huge job for this young man. I like the fact that he's ambitious and he wants to take it, but we've been here before. I like the fact that he's done well in his other league, but we've been here before. But one thing that he has differently than all these other coaches, he has structure and he has a good boardroom that's going to back him. And I don't know how long it'll last. Mikey says we'll give him 6 games or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, Mikey, I'm just joking. I'm just fucking with you. But I know what you meant. If he comes here and says, nah, I'm not doing that, we're going to be like, we got to watch this guy. He's on fraud watch already. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. We want the best for this club, and they're not doing the best right now. We are 14th place in the Premier League and 21st in the Europa.
Atrocious.
These are numbers.
Just remember, real quick, Casey, we're only 5 points, 6 points away from top 4.
Yeah.
So
We're
like,
not doing that.
not that
That's
far
another
out
show.
of it yet. We're not that far out of it with a new manager.
It's only Halloween, guys.
All right. On that note, I want to thank this panel of Sean, Ronaldo, Jeremy, Bandito, Mike, Mikey, and Logan. My boy Cheese in the studio to join us. I know there's a lot of Reds, but I just want to hear a lot of opinions. And that's how we do it. This has been another one of those Casual Reds show. Everybody have a good evening. Be safe on Halloween. Cheer for the Reds tomorrow against Leicester City and up the fucking Reds. Have a good evening, gentlemen. Go Dodgers.
You are listening to Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle, Jeremy Sanchez, and Mikey Douglas, only on LA Talk Radio.